Had another pack assignment today. Let's get into it. Leadership. I wish I could ask Chip Zdarsky what inspired him to dissect the evils of neoliberalism post World War II in his latest Captain America 2025 run. Chip Zdarsky is a leader in storytelling and comics. He has one of the most iconic and highly respected Daredevil runs of all time, as well as a pretty good Batman run too. I finally made the effort to pick up the first two chapters this week and started reading and was shocked to find the most densely packed, rich dialogue examination defining what neoliberalism is and how the US has utilized it to mold the entirety of international trade and the global order around their interests, then explicitly categorizing it as the cause of both Hitler Trump Israel and 9/11 itself. I'm a lifelong Captain America fan. Does not get better than beating the life out of fascists during World War II. But transitioning Cap into the modern era has always been an awkward job at best. Sometimes there are incredible stories like the Winter Soldier Cap movie that takes the form of a political thriller around having to defy one's own government for the sake of our friends and loved ones, while an amazing concept in itself that forces Cap to remove the rosy lenses he had previously seen the US through and replace that misplaced loyalty to the system that raised him with a more sensible, undying loyalty to individuals like friends, family, and loved ones. It's a rare sight to behold. At Captain America's worst, we get stories like 2019, where Marvel editorial decided to make him a secret Hydra fascist agent for magic comic book reasons. And then, after public backlash from the poor writing of the series, revert to, he's a clone actually, and have that resolve itself through some lame fight. Captain America is at his best when facing the reality that the system is what the system does, which is an expression that correctly removes the cultural propaganda and intent behind systems we are loyal to and reduces them down to the reality that the system produces. In the current 2025 Captain America story, the world did not pause once Cap went on ice. The US government still had wars and soldiers and leaders, like Major David Colton, who enlisted as a kid after witnessing 9/11. His worldview is completely submissive to the will of the US military apparatus without any intent at all in helping civilians, ensuring stability in the region, or even engaging in trying to define what the values of his worldview even are. David Colton is the Captain America, who participated in the invasion of Afghanistan and moved on to Iraq because, as he was told, once you're on a roll, you don't stop, regarding US imperial domination and destabilization of the region. Steve Rogers, Captain America, has yet to fully experience what the neoliberal world order that, since publishing Trump, has blown up and no longer really exists, that defines the American military apparatus and what it means to live anywhere besides the imperial core. While I've only gotten 2 chapters deep, I have heard spoilers. Spoiler warning. That David Colton inevitably learns what the public in real life knows as well to be the truth. The US funded and armed Mujahideen terrorist forces that eventually became Al Qaeda and ISIS to destabilize the region, whose leadership we opposed for being left-leaning, and ultimately those armed terrorist groups correctly recognized that in order to achieve their goal of controlling the respective regions, they needed those regions to be stable. And the biggest international destabilizer and terrorist group is the United States, which resulted in 9/11. Just like the latest massacre that is remembered by the date it occurred, October 7th, the United States was aware of the intentions of Al Qaeda, and in their leaders' arrogance decided that they were not a serious threat despite plenty of intelligence reports pointing to an attack impending, or at least plane hijackings. We didn't take them seriously. Unfortunately, at some point, we move away from the realm of Alex Jones-style freak conspiracy theories and recognize the publicly disclosed reality of what academics refer to as blowback when it comes to the consequences of violent U.S. interventionism abroad. I wish I could ask Zdarsky what inspired him to write this particular Cap story. I love the politics and the rich, dense history and dialogue, but did this story come from somewhere? Was there a moment in IRL politics or a conversation he had in his personal life that prompted him to take such a leftist and specific stance against neoliberalism in this story? Or is this a story he just wanted to tell? Thank you.